Episode of Transitioning Humanitarian's Life. And today, unfortunately, Vicky couldn't make it. So, therefore, I'm here to talk to you about this topic that I was coaching one of my clients yesterday. And the topic that came up is that she wanted to go for higher position in the humanitarian sector. And we were coaching on how to do this. And then at the same time, she had this fear that this may affect negatively her current relationship where her partner may have negative opinion about this, or she was afraid of this, right? So even though he had no problem with it and he was all for it, but she had this feeling that, oh my God, what if it negatively affects my relationship? Because she had the experience before where she was in another relationship and um, she and her husband, ex-husband, right, at the time agreed to go to a different duty station where she was having her career, and he followed. And as he had difficulty finding a job in that environment, she started feeling like it's my fault. Because of me, he cannot find any other job, and therefore his career is stagnating or in plateau, and I should be helping him. And then she was trying to help him, and then it all didn't go well because she was really trying to do this out of feeling guilty and trying to help him. So, therefore, because of that past experience, she interpreted this time if she goes for a higher position and she becomes even more successful than she is now, then how this will affect the relationship, right? So, this is a topic that I wanted to talk about because I think that a lot of the times as humanitarians, when we're in a relationship, we take our partners or our husbands, wives, or spouses, children to the duty station where we're working, and then we start doing our career and we start getting success and traction with it, with our work, while our spouse or partners are at home maybe, or trying to find some other job. Maybe they have difficulty because their qualification is not matching the job market, or they are not really wanting to go for the market that is available, right? So therefore, they're sitting at home, and then this feeling guilty comes up, and then us wanting not to transition, not to proceed anymore. And therefore, the question starts, what are we going to do? How can we navigate the situation, right? And this is the exact situation that I was coaching yesterday, where I was asking her first. So, if this is your situation, here's how I would love for you to navigate it in your own case, is like asking yourself, why are you connecting your success with also negatively impacting the relationship, right? So, why are they linked together? Why are they not detached from each other? Meaning that your success at work does not mean that this will, or does not need to mean that this will negatively affect the relationship. Why do you believe that it will affect the relationship negatively, right? And when I asked my client yesterday, she said that it's because of the past, right? So therefore, her bringing the past experience to her current experience. And that's also not really useful, because we never want to make judgments or make conclusions based off how it used to be in the past and how it might be currently, even though our brain is very prone to do that, right? Our brain is very prone to associate the past experience and then warn us about the current experience, therefore creating a fear. And that fear tells us, oh my God, what if the past lived experience that I believe is negative, how it may happen again? Therefore, let me just curtail my success, or let me just not go for my promotion that I want to go for. Actually, I don't want to go for. Let me just contain myself so that the other person is not negatively affected, right? So if you are in this situation, then we really need to learn how to untie our success from our relationship, our success from how our partner is seeing our success. And the next thing I want you to get curious is how or why do you believe that your partner will see this in the negative light, right? Why do you believe that your partner will think that, oh, like my partner or spouse is getting all the success and I'm not getting the success? Why do we believe that that's what their thinking will be? Right? Why do we assume that? Because if the roles were reversed, if it was our partner or spouse is getting the promotion and the success and all of this, would we be happy for them or not? And if not, and if that would be our reaction, then again, it's a great question for us to ask ourselves is why would we not be happy for them? Right? Because if we're not happy for them, that means that we're in some ways, maybe not really consciously, but somewhere we are maybe blaming them for how our career is stagnating, right? Maybe we're blaming them or blaming the situation, blaming the country where we are in, blaming the legislation uh, for why and how we cannot get the job or we cannot be at the same level of career growth that we want to. Maybe there is that blame. So it's good awareness for us to know, right? It's good to know that, maybe we're blaming them for where we are. Excuse me. Then the question that we need to ask ourselves is why would we blame them? Right? Because we decided to be in that jurisdiction together, I assume. No one forces us to go and do things, right? We decided at some point that this is best for myself, for my family, for my children. That's why we have decided to do this. Of course, we may always say, well, it wasn't my decision, it was my spouse's decision. If that's the case, then again, we need to understand that as long as we keep giving the responsibility to someone else, we are likely to suffer more. We're likely to experience resentment, right? We're likely to feel like I have to do this because of them. Then we'll feel a lot more powerless, resentful, and that will not help our family or our relationships. So therefore, in that situation, we need to start really owning our own responsibility of how and why we decided to be there with the family. And then, as you can see, that when we start unpacking this, right, we start unpacking as to is really the spouse's success to blame for our unsuccessful careers, and do we really want to blame it, right? So these are the questions that I want you to really like get curious about. And let's say even you want to blame the spouse for how they are successful and you are not, and how you could be and why you are not, and all of this. Even let's say go that route, where does that lead us? It leads us to a place where we feel even more bad about our situation, more bad about their success, and then feeling bad about not being happy for their success, right? So then we just keep like adding a lot of shame and guilt on top of each other, and we just don't feel satisfied with anything. And that's not the place we want to be, most likely, right? So therefore, um, when you are in this situation where you feel like, okay, your spouse is having the success they want, and you want to be happy, and at the same time you want to do something for your own career, amazing. Now, where where and how are we going to make that career work, and which are the ways we can make it work? And sometimes maybe it's also easy or like possible for us to just be vulnerable and talk about this with the partner, right? And say that I really want to be happy for you. I I actually am happy for you, right? But at the same time, I have this feeling of I'm not really progressing in my career. I'm not really doing the things that I want to do. Therefore, I'm also struggling, right? And I'm processing through those struggles. And that might be a beautiful, also a bit vulnerable conversation to have with the partner, where the partner hopefully will trust or support us in this situation of how to get out of the struggle that we're experiencing, right? So as you can see that when I started first this conversation, I was talking about the person who was having the success in their career in the humanitarian sector, while the partner maybe is not having that level of success or not progressing the way that we are progressing, right? When we start unpacking and understanding that it has nothing to do with the, like, we don't need to link it to the relationship being damaged, then we start looking at, okay, what if we believe that our partner is suffering or struggling because of following us in this duty station, if we believe that's what's happening, then maybe it's also important to have that conversation with them, right? Important to have the conversation of not only talking about success, which is amazing, and going for that growth, and that's amazing, but at the same time, like, as people who are experiencing this success, maybe it's also important for us to create space where we openly talk with our partners about this and say that I know that I'm celebrating this, and I'm so happy that you are also celebrating this with me, but at the same time, I would love to also create space where we can talk about what other emotions coming up for you as I talk about this, right? And on the human level, we may understand that, like, whenever we see other people's successes, it's very human to also want to have similar success for ourselves, right? And therefore, on the human level, as we understand it, how can we then have this conversation that feels safe, at the same time talk to the partner about how we can be supportive of the partner's journey in their finding and navigating and creating the success they want. How can we be supportive? What can we do in that situation where they get and progress in their careers, or create new careers, or whatever it is, right? Being available there to have that conversation, I think, is like a very powerful place to be, instead of keep fearing that, oh my God, what if this will negatively affect my relationship? Or this will create this tension between my partner and myself, where the partner now is feeling maybe happy, but at the same time, not really feeling good about their own situation, right? If we are creating that type of tension that without really discussing it, then we may actually damage the relationship that we are actually afraid of damaging, right? So that's how when the relationship may be damaged, where we're not really speaking about what's going on within us. We're also not really creating maybe space for the partner to talk about what's going on for them. And therefore, two people are trying to, like, on the surface level, be happy for each other, but deep down, they're having a lot of their own turmoil, right? So, therefore, my suggestion is always first get clear for yourself and understand what are the emotions that are happening and coming up when you are afraid of progressing in your career and being successful at it, and at the same time you are afraid of being successful, what emotions coming up. And my in the case of my clients, the emotions that she was telling me, it's guilty for being more successful than her partner. And then we were like diving into why she feels guilty about this, right? And then once she cleared up the guilt part, then she also realized that um, it is because she was afraid of how the partner will perceive this news, right? And once we, again, and then she actually told the partner about this news, and then the partner was very supportive. And and then she was still like not sure, and I was asking her, why does she not trust the partner's true happiness and support for the success, right? Why is she doubting it? And she said that it's just because of the past. And if it's about the past, then obviously we need to clear out our emotions about the past. And then once we clear those emotions, meaning that we process through and we understand that there is no reason to feel guilty about it, there's no reason to link our success to the relationship, or there's no reason to fear how our success will negatively impact our relationship. And if we believe it does, then we need to ask ourselves the question of, why do we believe that success is affecting the relationship negatively, right? What is the evidence for it? Is it because we came up with this story in our head because of the past, or is it because our partner is voicing something and we are interpreting that to mean, oh my God, that means that our relationship is over, or our relationship will not be as good as before, or whatever it is that we make it mean, right? So we, as soon as we clear up these type of emotions, then we are able to also be there for the partner and have the conversation with the partner in case they are having their own struggles. And we need to be in the place where we don't make it mean, oh, they're having struggle. That means that they are being jealous of my success, or that means they are this and they're that. I think that's really not necessary and not useful. And instead, having this open, honest conversation about understanding why they might be struggling and how we can be supportive to them in that situation. And hearing what's coming up from them and creating that safe space where we can have those emotions come up, right? So to sum up of all the things that I was talking about today, the important part, I think, when we are having success in our careers, when we're having success to go to another higher position, and then we have this fear or guilt of, oh my God, is this going to somehow negatively influence my relationship? Get clear first where you're, or why do you believe that is the case, right? Is it because of the past experience that you may had, or is it because you believe that your partner will not be able to be there for you or be happy for you? And if you believe those things, why do you believe them? Right? Because oftentimes it may be without any grounds, actually. And oftentimes also it may be because if roles were reversed, maybe we would be not happy for them, right? If the roles were reversed, they were having success, maybe we wouldn't be that happy for them because we would be maybe blaming them for how they're having success and we're not. It's because of us following them in the situation, right? Maybe the roles were reversed. Maybe that's what we would be thinking. If that's what we would be thinking, then we need to start owning our decision of why we're there. And also knowing that blaming anyone is not going to get us anywhere. So therefore, even if we blame them, it's not that we will magically find the job or get our career progressing, right? So therefore, instead of going into the blame, into the judgment, or into the, oh, this is what partner will be thinking, this is I will be thinking, instead of doing any of those things, how can we have like open and honest conversation with each other where what's going on for each other, right? As we celebrate success, as well as what else is coming up. And also knowing that it has nothing to do with the other person. It's how we're feeling in that moment about our own situation, where we decided to be, and how do we now
get out of that situation? How do we progress in our career as much as the partner is progressing? If we are the one having success and the partner is struggling, again, how can we have this honest, vulnerable conversation where we have this space for each other to talk about, okay, yes, I'm having success. Now let's get you be successful in your work, and how can we do that? And that will be a lot better way of spending time and energy and engaging and building relationship even stronger, rather than keep having this fears and blame or possible judgments of ourselves or criticism of ourselves or others, and then just like not going anywhere. And I hope that this made sense for you to navigate around what to do when you're having success and how to clean up for yourself, as well as being there for the partner and have the conversation with the partner. So if you need help on this, absolutely let me know. I would love to coach you on this so that you are not afraid of having any transition, any success, any progression in your career, so that you can keep seeking the great heights if you want to, doing the impact you want to, and creating the life you want to with your loved ones. So have an amazing week, everyone. Thank you so much and see you very soon. Bye.